I'm going to make a faceplate for this beast out of copper sheeting. My cousin Donald has a box of copper scraps. She's a pack rat like I am. And she was nice enough to let me hack a piece of this nice copper sheeting from an old downspout, I believe. Anyways, should be fun. Well, there is the faceplate. I use this and that, and a hacksaw, a sharp tool, and a dull mine. Once again, folks. All right. Well, here's the board for my Princeton. So we got the 1.5K, 25 at 25 cap. We got 268s. We got an 18 instead of a 0.02. This is recommended by my friend Bill Odell, who was so nice and kind to donate these. And thanks to Todd Sims for some of these donations here. You got your 22 or 220K, etc., etc., etc. And a bluesman uses what a bluesman has. I got a little bit of a mismatch here with the filtering. Got a 16 and a 20. That'll give it a little more filtering, if anything. I bet it's going to work just fine. Got some heavy duty resistors there. So next is just the working on the faceplate. All right, stay tuned. Damn it, Jim. I'm a woodworker, not a metal worker. Here's the tentative layout. Tentative? I drilled holes. Here's the layout. They're in there loose. I may take them out as I go ahead and install the tube sockets and transformers and stuff. But so far, so good, said the optimist 50 stories off of a 100-story building. Thank you. And here's a shot of the tentative interior layout. Note the hole patching. I am really cheap. I've got 50 cents of the first dollar I ever earned. Why waste a perfectly good chassis, huh? Okay, now I have all the components in place with the exception of the output transformer. I'm going to wire up the AC now. Okay, folks, you're going to share my misery or my triumph. So I've got the power transformer wired up, and I'm just going to plug it in. It's only the power transformer, so it should just light that up. If I see my current limiter glowing crazily, of course I will unplug it very quickly. So I'm going to plug it in and watch the current limiter right here. No crazy glowing. And what do you know? And we have a working AC unit. Excellent. I know what you're saying. It's backwards from my first take. And yes, I had to reverse everything because of the orientation of the chassis. So this is the wiring, and this is, I just flipped it over. You know, these Fender style things. They're a pain in the butt. However, they sure do look nice when they're done. So this is ready to wire in. I'm going to get some lunch, check it for errors, and onward. Okay folks, I've got everything wired, and I'm going to do the amp startup procedure. Sugar's on vacation and in quarantine, so I can't have her operate the camera, so I'm going to do the startup in steps off camera and then come back on and record the results. Okay, well, I got my speaker stimulator in place, and I've got it plugged in to the current limiter, and it's not glowing some crazy bright, glowing, no smoke coming out. So now I'm going to record the voltages of the various tubes here and make sure everything is good before I actually plug the tubes in. Okay, plugged the rectifier tube in, and oops, here's my cheat sheet. 496 DC voltages. Now, these little babies here are charged up now, so discharge them. This is a loud ass little amp. Wow. The tone design flaw, too close together. I'm gonna have to use round knobs. But also, the tone control doesn't seem to be working right, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Tone control doesn't seem to be working right. Or it's backwards, maybe. Yeah, I think the tone control is wired backwards. Ha-ha! So here's what I have here. I have this nice bias meter made by my guru, my tube amp guru, Bill Odell. That's going to measure the milliamps off of the tube, the 6L6. So that's going to save me one step with the math. And then I have this multimeter donated by my good buddy Chewy, which I'm going to measure the plate voltage with, and I'm going to do some quick math to see what the plate dissipation is. Here's my final measurements. Plate voltage at 395 with 23 milliamps of current. It's going to equal 9.85 watts plate dissipation. So as I said, I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, so here's a sound test of this 5f2-a Princeton clone. Poor Sugar's in quarantine by my wife, so I'm going to be handling the camera duties today. Alrighty, and keep watching. The tone is completely off, and the volume's up about to 3. I don't have my dial markers yet, so it's at about 30 of 100. Playing a 1943 D'Angelico XL. Sorry I couldn't get a better guitar for this demo, but here we go.